So, but yeah, dude, been hitting up Siege a little bit. Got back into Smite, fucking loving it, bro.
Got that gauntlet going on Smite.
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm really excited for Merlin because he's gonna be the nasty. Because he's like,
I love Arthurian Legend. I'd say that's like easily one of my top 10 fandoms.
yeah, he's like a stance changing mage.
So is that the whole Arthur thing?
I guess so. Yeah.
Stance change.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I when I was still playing Yu-Gi-Oh, they released like an Arthurian themed deck.
Oh yeah.
So it was a lot of like calling out monsters that were like the knights.
Yeah.
And then the boss monster was Arthur, and there was 2 forms of him.
Okay.
And so you just play a nasty game of domination. So you'd have this spell card where it's like your opponent can't have more monsters than you, but if you have this massive tank on your side, he has to overcome that somehow. And then Arthur had a bunch of negates and stuff, so it's like, oh well, I try to use this on him, well I negate it.
Yeah.
And he had like so many negates per turn, and he was just a bitch to get over, and all my friends hated playing against that deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, yeah, he's a stand. He has 3 stances. 3.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And Arthur has 2, right?
Arthur's weird because he combos, but
into the stances, right?
Yeah, he combos in and out of stances. I haven't figured that out. Yeah, he's very intricate. But apparently, what I'm saying, what everybody's saying, I guess, is right now Merlin seems like the most complex god in the history of Smite. So,
man, that's weird. I remember when we I don't want to say first picked up Smite, but for the sake of when we as a squad first picked up Smite, I was like, bro, Ares is super complicated. And then you kind of learned the mechanics and went along, and you're like, okay, Ares is not that crazy. And I think at the time it wasn't playing a Muzen Cob, it was building a lot of a Muzen Cob, and all the gods were fairly straightforward, except I think Hebo, at that time, Hebo was probably the most complex because you had to know how to combo off them and stuff. But now we've come such a long way with,
who? I mean, I know it's been a while since you've played, but who's the most complex god you think off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head? See, here's my thing. I don't play complex gods. You know me. I played the, I mained Thanatos for a while there. Who else did I play? Chiron. Big on Chiron.
Gabe has a thing where he's gonna have a character or a god with a whole bunch of CC, or you're gonna be that targeting god. Where
because you know how I like to play. I'm either right behind you, helping you out, or I'm looking for the one god that's straight away from the path. And I was like, yeah, punish.
Bro,
who else did I play? Those are my 2 mains easily. Who else did I fucking play?
You didn't play very many mages. I know that.
No, I didn't really like the whole mage aspect, which is funny.
That's me.
I played Kabrakan. Kabrakan was fun.
Yeah.
I played a lot of hunters. That was my thing. Hunters and warriors.
You're a hunter, bro. They changed Freya.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
But I'm finally getting it where what's it called? I forgot the name of the fucking thing. Her Northern Lights, where it's the buff for her basics, and the second, I think it's irradiate or whatever. That shit doesn't slow anymore.
That's probably a balancing change at that point.
The range blast doesn't fucking.
Yeah, it used to be real
nasty. I would just
nasty with it. Yeah,
I would just chase a motherfucker.
You couldn't get away, but now you got.
Yeah, I think you have to buff it. I think in order for it to get the slow, because the slow still comes. So I'm trying to figure out how that whole thing balances. Yeah. But she has probably the best wave clear in the game. She's a 1-shot wave clear now.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
nasty. That is crazy. Oh, I played the Mayan dragon. I can't remember his name.
Kukulkan.
Yeah. I played a lot of him too. Those are like my 4 mains.
Yeah, like I said, you're that weird. You like the CC, or you just like to hunt people down.
You know what? I think it's funny when we play character or role games, because I always pick like the weird one.
Yeah.
Well, except for maybe Siege, I always play, at least on offense, I always play Thermite because you need a good cornerstone for any team. And what better than Thermite, or Hibana, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, Smite was fun, man.
I need to get back. Dude, you need to get back into it. It's so good.
Get back on that grind.
Yes, sir. All right, man. You ready?
Born ready.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Second City Kids podcast, episode number 103.
Wow, 103, chugging towards 105, slowly but surely.
Yeah. Moving along, but we're back at you. It's a brutally cold day, next couple.
Beautiful out there. What the fuck? It's snowing again.
Yeah, it's snowing again.
We have a low of -17 on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So if you don't need to go out, don't. I was gonna buy my Silent Planet tickets, and then I was like, maybe not.
Yeah,
I'll catch them next time.
Yeah,
not this time.
Too cold. But yeah, man. So it's cold, and it's rough. So yeah, we'll get into the notes and stuff like that. But I want to play a quick homage to my cousin, Karina, who just passed away yesterday. We weren't like super close or anything like that, but it's my dad's cousin, and I think you could probably relate when your family member or when your parents
are hurting.
Yeah, when they lose people who are close to them, they start to question their own mortality, and that kind of makes me sad a little bit.
Yeah, man.
You don't really want my dad thinking about that type of stuff. So, to my cousin Karina, may she rest in peace. Apparently, and this is the coolest thing, and she actually, because I guess because she kind of lived her life sick. When you know things are wrong, you start to think about death, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So about a week ago on Facebook, she posted, "When I go, I don't want the people dressed in black." She's like, I want everybody to throw a party.
Fiesta. Yeah, that's the way to go, man.
And celebrate. So that's what she wanted, and that's what she's going to get. So, like I said, may she rest in peace. All that good stuff.
I hate getting sappy and stuff, but I think the dude from Kublai Khan said it best. I know I've told this story before, but he said he was on tour one day, and before he left for tour, he got into a fight with his mom. You got a call. Mom passed away, and at Warped Tour, he was like, take care of him and love him when you can, because you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're fighting with someone, take this as your sign.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, make sure you rest in peace and all that good stuff. Don't mean to start off the pod on a somber note, but it is what it is.
All right, let's talk some. So you had a flavorful experience this week, and I swear I told you not to get it, but you didn't listen.
I think you definitely did. So here's the deal. Let me tell you. Let me preface this. So I work in the HR office now. I'm not HR, but I work in the HR office. That's where my classroom is now and stuff. So one of the head HR ladies, her name is Janelle, super nice lady, by the way. She's like, man, like I'm just walking by. She's like, what? It's like, she looks like she's like stunned at her table at her little desk. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, the chicken's hot. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, fry the Coop. She's like, I ordered from it. She's like, I saw it on Uber Eats and I picked it up. And she's like, I figured, I like a little bit of spice in my life, so I'm gonna take the hot. So I'm like, oh really? Yeah. She's like, yeah. She's like, I can't eat it. She's like, I can't. I'm like, it's not that bad. She's like, no, it really is. At that point, I already eaten, so I'm like, oh, maybe tomorrow. So the next day, I'm like, you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get the chicken and waffles, and I'm gonna have the hot option. So it came, and I opened up the thing. I'm like, okay. I'm looking at this chicken, and it's like a dry rub. You could look at it. I'm like, this thing is gonna fucking kill me, right? Just by the color, I'm like, this is gonna hurt. So take a bite. I'm like, it's not bad. Not horrible, but it's a little bit of
slow burn.
Yeah, a little bit of a kick.
A little bit of a Atreyu in there.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we'll get to that later.
And then second bite, I'm like, oof,
kicking up the notch.
Oof.
It's like Hot Ones when you're like a couple wings in, you're like, I'm fucked, aren't I?
Yeah, and then the third bite, I'm like, okay, this is hot. And then by that point in time, my eyes are tearing up, like my nose
burning up.
My nose is starting to run, and then I was like, there's a class in the classroom at this point. My counterpart's teaching them, and I'm like, whoo. And like in the background, and she's like, yeah, all right. I'm like, this chicken's fucking hot. Fuck. It is really hot.
Yep.
So I went to go chase her down. I'm like, you were not joking. I'm like, that shit was so fucking hot. And I could tell it's good chicken, but I couldn't even tell you if it was good because it was so hot.
Right.
And on top of that, I got the chicken and waffles. They have spicy butter. So I threw spicy butter on top of my waffle, so I couldn't even get a break with the waffle.
Yeah, you just got decimated, huh?
Yeah, it was fucking
here's my thing.
Hot.
I went to Fried Coop when they first opened, like their first week, and here's what I got, and I love this thing. It is a chicken sandwich, but the buns are glazed donuts. So I always get like the mild chicken because the hot is way too fucking.
It's fucking hot, dude.
But that salty sweet combination works so fucking well.
I was gonna get that, but they said it wasn't available anymore or something like that. I'm like, why is it on the fucking app then?
Maybe it's not available for Uber Eats.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe there's a food concern there, but
yeah,
if you're around that area, I definitely recommend it.
Definitely, yeah.
They got a good beer selection.
Yeah.
And you didn't even get the hottest one, and that's like crazy, isn't it?
The next one is the next step up. It's called Crazy, and
then I think there's one more. There's the Nashville Hot, which I think is a meal.
Yeah,
the Nashville hot chicken.
That's just unreasonable.
Yeah, man. So
it was good though.
Yeah.
Once I got was able to get some of it down, but yeah. So another thing I want to talk about. So I don't know. You probably don't have much to comment about this, but it's just a general thought that I want to share with the podcast folks out there. So I'm a Tom Brady fan, right?
Sure.
I am a Patriots Tom Brady fan. They're my second team. I would say I'm a homer. I'm Bears first, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, all right? And everybody who surrounds me in my family hates me during this time of year, all right? Because every year the Patriots are at the very least in the AFC Championship game, right? They've won the last 3 in a row. They've gone to the last 3 Super Bowls in a row. Think about that. So, like I said, everybody hates me. My question is, because to me, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. And I don't think there's anything that anybody can say to change my mind about that. And I don't think there's anything anybody can even do to even begin to change my mind about that. My question is, why do people hate greatness? Like, I understand.
You talking like a general term?
Yeah, like, I understand why people may be sick of him, sick of seeing them.
Yeah.
But
Well, he's been in the spotlight.
Forever.
Forever. Yeah. It's been, what, like 8 years now?
No, he's been playing. He won his first Super Bowl 17 years ago. Or whatever. Yeah, 17 years ago. 2001. 2002, whatever. He won his first. The coach he's playing against, the
Trained
Rams.
him.
No, I'm saying when Tom Brady was winning his first Super Bowl, the coach for the other team was a quarterback in high school.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He's great. He's greatness. Why do people hate greatness?
You think he's going to hit 20 and retire? Be like a nice even.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think my mentality is this: I think he wins this one. If he wins this Super Bowl, I think he's done, because that's his 6th ring, 6 Super Bowls. Never been close to being done before. He's gone to 9 total, and I think there was a statistic that like 17% of all Super Bowls, Tom Brady has been a quarterback in one of them. That's ridiculous. Okay,
Yeah, that's wild.
That's a level of amazingness that we have yet to see. I just don't understand why people hate greatness. And right now, I know when my mom's listening to this episode, like later in the week, she'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's talking about it." But
I think there's a level of like tribalness, especially to sports.
Mhm.
And I think that, especially coming from the Chicago area where football and hockey and basketball are all like massive parts of like the Chicagoan culture, people really start to kind of corner themselves in this mentality. They're like, if it's not the Bears, I don't give a shit. And, I can kind of relate it to when we chat about music. Like, okay, when we talk about bands like The Maine and the 1975, like maybe it's not our genre, but we can admit good musicianship when we hear it, you know? And I think it's just that kind of mentality, that tribalism where if it's not white, it's not right. That kind of mentality,
I feel.
If it's not what I'm relating to, then you're a piece of shit.
Facts.
And I think it's that. And I think people hate on greatness just because they can't have it.
You think it's what it is?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Because it's, I don't know what Tom Brady's doing different. I can't speak on his behalf, but he's clearly doing something different to separate himself from the pack.
Mm-hmm.
And, you could tell that. And it's just a matter of, well, why can't Chicago have that? Well, X, Y, and Z. And I couldn't even start to fathom what X is,
I feel.
And I think it's that mentality where the Patriots and people who love the Patriots, they're probably over ecstatic. Like, yeah, we got this one in the bag. And I think it's that mentality, man. It's that, like, well, we can't have it. And then, two, it's this tribalism that's kind of having everybody, like, closed-minded.
Yeah. I feel like the whole country hates him. I don't understand why. It is what it is. But that's just something I wanted to talk about in passing, because I was wondering what your kind of thought process is on it. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up the whatchamacallit.
The agenda.
Yeah, I actually saved the article this time around. Hold on. Where'd it go? Saved. So, speaking of the Super Bowl, we have a whole bunch of Super Bowl ads coming up, right? Usually that's part of the fun, is watching all the ads. Now, I'm going to talk about every big Super Bowl commercial trailer, movie trailer that is projected to make the Super Bowl this year, and I just want your overall opinion on interest, all right?
Sure.
Now, a few of these we already know based on what we've talked about previously, but you go ahead and throw out there out of 5, let's say. Gauge your interest. Avengers Endgame.
3.
3? Right down the middle, I figured. Captain Marvel?
4.
4? Nice, okay. Shazam?
2.
2? Okay, dropping off. Episode 9, Star Wars.
I'm going to remain neutral on this. No strong feelings yet. 3.
Okay. Toy Story 4.
Like a 4.
What Men Want, which apparently is a sequel to What Women Want from the Mel Gibson chick flick.
Oh, like 3.
Okay. Honestly, I thought you gave it more than I would. Godzilla, King of Monsters.
4.
Yep, that's up there.
Oh man, if this trailer is like anything like the last one,
Yeah, we're gonna be amped. The Lego Movie 2.
3.
Yeah. Alita Battle Angel. Have you seen this?
I've seen the trailer for it. Yeah, like a 3. I got some concerns with production and how this movie's gonna pan out.
Yeah. Happy Death Day to You.
Oh, I think the first one's on Netflix, like a 1.
Yeah. How to Train the Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon.
Ah, yeah, that's actually, I think that's up next that we should talk about. Like a 4.
Okay. Dumbo.
3.
Pet Cemetery.
Ooh, I don't know how I quite feel about this. I'm gonna give it a 3 until I see it.
No, pass. Hellboy.
Yeah, you know my feelings. Like a strong 5.
Yeah. Detective Pikachu.
Like a 3, man. They should have gotten Danny DeVito. I love Ryan Reynolds, but come on, Danny fucking DeVito.
Yeah, that would have been a good pick,
What
I think.
the fuck is a Pikachu?
Right? John Wick.
3.
Really? A 3 for John Wick? I thought it'd be a little bit
3
more.
for 3.
I don't know what Rocket Man is, but Rocket Man. Whoa.
He's reading.
Rocket Man. Is that the Elton John?
Oh, is it?
The Elton John biopic?
Is it?
Rocket Man?
No
Isn't that John? Isn't that Elton John?
Ooh.
David Bowie, maybe? I don't know. One of those guys, I'm sure. One of those famous Brits.
One of the greats.
Yep. Aladdin.
Yeah.
Men in Black International.
Like a 2.
The Lion King.
1.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
3.
Hobbs and Shaw, which I guess is a spinoff of Fast and the Furious with Jason Statham.
1.
Jason Statham and The Rock. You're going to pass on that? It, Chapter 2.
It Chapter 2, actually like a 4.
Yeah. Interesting.
Strong 4.
Zombieland 2.
4. Because I want
Ooh.
to see it.
Okay.
But like we said, 10 years too late. Actually, I think it's 10 on. It's 10 because it's 2009.
Yeah.
Ooh, fuck.
Joker.
No.
Really?
I'm not doing no DC stuff.
Is that really a DC? Would you consider that a DC? I mean, it's not the. I mean, I guess it's.
We'll
not,
see,
I don't
man.
know.
I love our boy, Joaquin Phoenix, but I got concerns with literally everything else. We spoke about this.
Okay, yeah.
I know he can nail it. It's just the writing, the producing, the directing. It's everything else. It's not Joaquin.
Fair enough. And Frozen 2, which I don't know
1.
why. Yeah.
Pass. I
So-
don't have kids yet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that's 26 films that are potentially supposed to have a Super Bowl trailer. So that's kind of the general look. I think for the overall, I line up kind of close to Gabe for most of them. So I don't think you're too far off with a lot of those. Except the Joker. I think I'm a little bit more excited about that than you. But
I think you're a little less
Forgiving?
worried.
Forgiving.
Less worried.
yeah.
Because I don't know what it is, man. I just think you're like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Well, I like Joaquin. I believe.
Yeah, no, like I said, I have full faith in him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everybody else involved with this movie.
Hey, man.
All right, so you mentioned How to Train Your Dragon 3. You could actually get tickets right now to see it in 2 weeks, next week. It's
Oh my
February
God, really?
2nd. Yeah, you could see it 3 weeks early
Holy
if it's
shit.
not sold out. And they're showing it at Marcus. They're showing it at Crestwood. All the local theaters at Quarry.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see Yorkville on there, but I'm sure it is. And it's one Saturday afternoon screening at like 3 o'clock. So, hop on them before they're gone. And you can see it 3 weeks early.
Cool. Very cool.
And they're dirt cheap. They're like $9 too. They're not charging like the 15 release night premium.
What do you think? What do you think the reason for that is?
I don't know. Probably, who is it? DreamWorks? Yeah, it's DreamWorks, right?
Yeah.
I think they're just giving back.
Okay. Doesn't seem like them.
I think they're just trying to generate hype. They probably know they probably know they put a lot of love and time into the movie.
Is this a lot? What day of the week is that?
Saturday.
Okay. Because I was going to say, maybe it's like
Like a Tuesday night showing where everybody's at work.
well, not that, but I'm like, maybe it's like a Tuesday morning or something like that where kids can go to like field trip or something like that. But it's too cold. Well, I mean, here, I guess. But because I know like for a lot of those Disney like biographies, you ever watch, or documentaries, you ever seen any of those? Like the monkey movie?
Not the biopic, but I saw Christmas Carol in theaters for a field trip. And
Oh.
I think it was like a week before it came out too.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm saying.
it's
Stuff
right
like
on the
that. Yeah. So that's interesting.
It's a Saturday, man. And, like I said, we both kind of have high respect for this movie because they
do
both
a good
do a
job.
really solid job.
Yeah, definitely.
And, so if you got some spare cash and you got some spare time, by all means, check it out. February 2nd.
Maybe.
Check out your local AMC. It might actually be an AMC promotion now that I think about it. They probably have some, cross thing going on there.
Indeed. All right. So
You got a chance to watch it.
yeah, a little bit. I gotta
Okay.
watch the little Netflix show.
So tell them what we're talking about.
Well, as I think I might have mentioned it previously on the podcast, Carmen San Diego got her own Netflix TV show, right? It's a little cartoon. Right now, first season has about 9 episodes in it. It's good. You'd be shocked. It's kind of got a Bond feel, a little bit of a Bond feel. I think it's like it's educational. Like they teach you about stuff. They kind of go into Carmen San Diego's backstory. Previously on other versions of her in the computer game, she was like the villain that you would chase. But she's kind of the protagonist in this, and you kind of like I said, a little bit of an origin story, a little bit of background, and yeah, man, it was pretty good.
Very cool.
I like the animation style. It's like I said, it's very noir, Bondy kind of feeling. It's good stuff.
I'll take your review seriously because you're a Bond fan. I would say more so than I am.
Yeah,
And when you use that like Bondesque,
yeah,
It's not very lighthearted.
Yeah.
It's like not, it's not something you toss out there.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, man. Like I said, I really love the animation style. I like a lot of the premise. It's very interesting. Very well done.
Has been taking care of a lot of the stuff they've dropped recently.
Yes.
We watched the Fire Festival documentary.
I watched that too.
Excellent documentary.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually the first documentary I watched about it. I follow this YouTuber by the name of Internet Historian. And he does exactly what his name implies.
Mm-hmm.
And he covered one of the Fire Festival and was really funny and informative. But the Netflix one really fucking went in depth.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man.
Apparently, there's another one on Hulu too.
Yeah, and theirs dropped like a week earlier, so I'll probably get around to that one.
You want to talk about the documentary about
Sure,
the Fire
what do you
Fest?
want to talk about?
I think that guy is the ultimate,
a megalomaniac.
He's the ultimate con artist, and he knows it. He's a sociopath.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I think you kind of have to be a sociopath.
Yeah.
Because looking at the information that the documentary presented, this festival had a chance of being salvageable. But it's the fact that he kept saying no to all the recommendations by the professionals in those fields, and he wanted it done his way. And I think this is, you and I kind of came to fruition from the same person in a sense. Josie always told us to grab the bull by the horns, and it's a strong dick it, right? He didn't use strong arm. He said strong dick it, right? And I don't know if he meant the bull or the situation at that instance, but he always said to grab the bull by the balls, not the horns. Okay, and this was an instance where it totally backfired. That bull, he knew what was coming.
Yeah, man. My favorite thing about it is that these guys thought that they were gonna fucking change the world, and you could tell by the fact they documented every fucking thing about the whole entire process from top to bottom. All the footage that wasn't dramatized, that was real life footage that they themselves captured for
use it as promotion.
Yeah, and it was just incredible how because it's a little bit of a stretch, but like the way he got away with, or the way he was getting away with things, is kind of like borderline H.H. Holmes getting away with murder kind of shit, where you were just realized like, how the fuck did nobody notice that this guy.
We had some guys like the investment, the Calvin dude.
Yeah.
Calvin Wells.
Yeah.
He caught on and he kind of knew what was going on.
Yeah. But I'm saying like by that time it's too late. He's got fucking investors up the ass. He said he's invested in Facebook for millions of dollars, and he's only got
like $1,500 in stock. Yeah, man. Solid documentary. And, me and Maddie have dove into the documentary side of Netflix.
It's actually
murder
really good.
of Gianni Versace is really fucking good. Check that out if you haven't already. I think the first season, that's the second season. First season is OJ, and those are very well done. Like Murder on the Green Mountain, that was good. There's a whole bunch of fucking.
There was I don't know if it was a documentary, but it was like one of those Discovery Channel TV shows where it was like people. What was it describing? Like how people survive in like obscene or strange parts of the world. So like they have people in like Siberia, like yak herders and shit.
It's gonna be Chicago in like next week.
Yeah, they got that, and they had like people from, like I said, like what's it called? Fucking people who were like firefighters in the rainforest and stuff like that, and how they work with the indigenous people to like how they train them. It's very cool.
I think the firefighter in the rainforest is a very cool concept. I think they do fairly well because firefighting training is no joke.
Yeah.
But and they go through like hell and back sometimes.
Yeah.
But
because I think the rainforest was drying out because of the fires, and then it was just like make it a million times worse. And like I said, they trained these indigenous people to be firefighters because they can't do it all by themselves. It's impossible.
Very cool. Nice little chat about Netflix stuff, and when they crank something out, we'll be sure to talk about it. So talk to me about Kevin Smith and Jay Muse.
So
no relation to Davey Muse.
No, none. Jay and Silent Bob got greenlit. Is gonna be,
what is this, number 4, 5?
Well, if you count Clerks, do you count Clerks?
Let's not count Clerks. So it's Jay and Silent Bob, Strike Back.
No, it's just Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. There was no
shit.
Yeah. So this is only 2.
Two in Spirit 3.
Well, if you count all the Clerks, right?
Because they were both in Mallrats?
Huh? They were in Mallrats. That's 4.
Okay.
Dogma 5.
So this is kind of sort of 6.
Yeah.
Not really.
Spiritual
6.
Yeah.
Let's call it that.
Yeah. Well, Chasing Amy 7.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, basically this movie got greenlit to see Kevin Smith in the old garb with like 30 to 40 times skinnier than he was.
Yeah, man, he's gonna have to get those raggedy ass things tailored.
So me and Adriana had 2 jokes in mind, right? My joke is maybe at the very beginning of the movie when we first see Silent Bob come out, Jason would be like, "What the fuck did you get so fucking skinny?" or something like that. Or they go through the whole movie, and he's like, "What the fuck? Where did you get skinny?" That whole thing. Or Adriana was like, Jay's gonna be like, "Man," at the very beginning, like, "There's something different about you," and at the end, he's like, "You got a new hat." That's the joke that we had. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's solid. That's a properly good joke.
Yeah, not too bad, and just have him kind of roll his eyes and move on. But so yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely cool. I mentioned about it a bazillion times. I'm a big fucking fan of everything this guy does. So.
I hope James Hughes is doing well, man, because I know while Comic Book Man was filming, he was kind of bumming around the shop a lot.
Yeah.
So I hope he's got his shit together.
I mean, like, I think seeing him bum around on Comic Book Man is better than him potentially not bumming around, and Lord knows what he's doing at that point.
Yeah, we don't want another Steve-O incident because you know that could go south very quickly.
Yeah,
and I feel like Jay would be susceptible to that lifestyle, but. Definitely. Very cool. So, Jay and Silent Bob, we got a working title yet? Nothing yet?
Nope, just Jay and Silent Bob. That's all I heard.
Gotcha. Let's talk some gaming. So you put some quality stuff on here. Talk to me.
All right. So Cuphead 2 is on the works. I guess the creator said we got some epic shit in mind, which of course they do. Cuphead kind of be one of those sleeper hits for a couple years or 2 years ago at this point.
2 years ago. Well, it was a sleeper hit for like a week, and then people everywhere started throwing controllers at their TVs.
This is true. Named one of the hardest games of recent history. And yeah, like I said, the developers say, you know what, we got some good shit in mind. We got some crazy stuff.
You gonna pick it up if it comes to PlayStation?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I mean, I still want to play the first Cuphead. I mean,
you can play it on PC.
I don't know. You know how that guy.
I don't think it's that intensive, but yeah, man. People were comparing it to Dark Souls because Dark Souls was like the first game to really. Well, I don't want to say the very first game, but it was the first one to kind of test your armor there. You know,
it was
Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and people are comparing it to that, and I like how that's become the standard now. Like Dark Souls, but it's cartoons.
I feel what's it called? Like Dark Souls is like the hardness is so ingrained in the fabric of that game, right? Where that kind of became like a genre, where like hard games for the sake of being hard.
Fuck you.
Yeah, because like obviously like there's games like Castlevanias and fucking Ghosts and Goblins and Mega Mans of the world who were like they were fucking hard, but there was so much other stuff going on that nobody really thought about it, you know?
Yeah. Well, those games are hard for different reasons. Because I played through the first Dark Souls, and it was a very rewarding experience. Because there was times where I had to walk away from the game. Yeah. I could not do it. But at the end of it, when you kind of learn everything and you master it, you put in your time and research, it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the game has no difficulty setting. You could very easily walk back to the first area of the game and get fucked up if you're being careless. Because those enemies, they'll mob you, bro. And like I said, man, it's a rewarding experience. But yeah, I like how that's kind of become the the gold standard.
Yeah.
How does it compare to Dark Souls? Oh yeah, it's hard. Just call it a Samurai Dark Souls and we'll sell it.
So yeah, man. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Top of that, we have Kingdom Hearts 3 dropping this week.
Yeah, this week at some point.
This week. I think if you pre-ordered it, you get it a couple days early too.
Ooh, tasty. Now, how do you feel about the Kingdom Hearts series as a whole?
I never really. Well, I grew up with an Xbox, then I went to 360. I understand the importance of them, and I understand how well beloved they are because all my friends won't shut the fuck up about it. But I haven't really spent a lot of time on it. Okay,
so I have a passing history with Kingdom Hearts. I've played them. I wasn't like crazy like everybody else is. I mean, I love the concept of having that JRPG with the Disney, the Disney licenses. I think that's interesting. My thing is. I'm looking forward to what kind of the new things that they've acquired, Disney has acquired, and see how they integrate it.
Yeah, we might get Star Wars in a Kingdom Hearts game now, if you think about it.
Maybe.
Marvel stuff, too.
Marvel. There's a lot of stuff you can do there and potentially combine like all your favorite things together in one place.
Let's just hope it's a good combination, which I know it'll be, because it's Kingdom Hearts, and it's been, 14 years?
Something like that.
Something crazy.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was a PlayStation 3 console seller, and it never came out.
Yep.
Fun facts. But, so yeah, man, I'm sure a lot of people are hyped about it. But not as hyped as I would be
about this next one.
About the next one. So
talk to me about Metroid Prime 4. I seen some buzz or about this title in the news, but I decided to avoid it.
I guess they're ramping up, man. I think we talked about it numerous times how we would love to see a new Metroid. It's been a while. I feel like since we've seen like quality Metro game.
Since Samus got a deserved standalone, because everybody's like, oh, she's in Smash. So is everybody else, buddy.
Sure. So man, I think it's exciting.
Yeah, man, we're seeing a lot of franchises come back, like Mega Man and
definitely,
this
definitely. So, have you seen footage from the new Mega Man?
I have not seen footage. No.
Yeah, it has that old timey feel, bro.
Very cool.
I mean, obviously, it's high res, and it looks great. But man, it looks good. But yeah, so Metroid Prime 4, I'm excited. I may make me get a Switch. I don't know. I mean, nothing has made me go that far yet. So
Gotcha. Well, maybe you'll get MK11 on the Switch. So Resident Evil 2 came out last night.
Yeah.
I am not going to do my review this week because I had no time to put into it. I didn't even have time to boot the game up. So I will get a review next week just because I want to spend some time with the game. I want to get to know it. I don't want to kind of throw out first impressions there. I don't think that's fair. I want to put in some hours. But from what my buddy tells me, he said he has his asshole puckered the whole time. It's just terrifying.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't want to give anything away, but he's played through all the Resident Evils, and he says this is genuinely terrifying.
Wow.
So yeah, I might just have to take the computer downstairs and run it on the 7.1 sound system. And
is this your is 2 your favorite or is 4 your favorite?
You know, that's a hard one. Okay, 4 is my favorite at the moment because 4 improved a lot of things what I loved about, you know, some of the earlier games. But if this remake is good, it's substantially good, and it makes me feel the way I did many years ago, then this one might have to take it.
I feel like the difference is like when you went from Metal Gear Solid 2 to Snake Eater, right? 4 did that. 4 was that for Resident Evil 3.
Yeah, it kind of took a lot of people say 4 is like the breaking point where it started going south, but I thought 4 was very well done.
No, 4. I think 4 is often touted as the peak, as the apex.
Well, look at 5. It took a lot of what 4 did and turned it into like an action.
Yeah, that was
aspect.
the problem.
And I think, you know, I agree with you that, you know, aside from this remake, which I don't want to include quite yet, I think 4 is probably the apex of the series where it peaked, but it also paved the way for a lot of things that people didn't like.
Yeah.
Where it took away from the horror and turned it into this action, quick time event thing, and yeah, man. So
it ushered it into that genre.
I enjoyed 5.
5 was cool.
And then 6 is rough, man.
Yeah,
the 4 stories, we don't need that. But all I know is that you only get 2 stories in Resident Evil 2 Remake. They're like 10 hours apiece, and you play with Leon and I always forget her fucking name. Help me out here.
Leon and no, not Jill. Not Jill.
Whatever her name is. Redfield?
No, that's Chris. No, that's his sister.
Yeah, his sister.
His sister's, I forget her name.
Miss Redfield.
Claire?
Might be Claire. We're terrible Resident Evil fans. But
yeah.
You know, those 2 stories at 10 hours apiece, and then you get tofu mode and time attack mode back. So, you know, they're bringing back shit people wanted. And, yeah.
You know, it's because, you know, on paper, because I don't remember if you remember, like, the trailers for Resident Evil 6. But, like, collectively, all of us were like, oh, my God, you get to see Leon and, you know, Chris and all these people interact with each other. It was supposed to be, like, amazing.
And the story ended up being complete trash.
Yeah.
Like almost different genres completely. Like that Asian girl's thing was all puzzles, and and Leon's was just a little bit of detective work,
a little bit old school, yeah.
And
then Chris was the big explodey one,
Michael Bay.
But I'm saying like it could be done, like it could have been done really really good. It could have been like the as far as storytelling, like a big jump. But I feel like they missed the boat on that.
Yeah, I am not opposed to having.
Do you know what it
4 intersecting stories. It's just you got to make each story captivating.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily have to make each person a completely different genre of game, but definitely give it some variety.
Yeah. Do you know what it was? It was the Armageddon of Resident Evil.
See, you and I have very different opinions about Armageddon. I don't think Armageddon was all that bad. I think it was Ed Boon kind of like, let's give it everything we've done. And granted, it wasn't the best game ever. I think it had some quality things in there. Like Conquest mode was great in Armageddon. Much better than Deception. Come on. Ground pound. Taking Dave on. It took Conquest from Deception and improved upon it in a lot of ways.
Give or take.
Did you have fun in Conquest mode?
I do. If you let me walk around the Mortal Kombat world, I'm going to have fun regardless.
All right. I thought character creation was pretty cool. Granted, you know, broken if you figured out those stupid ass combos, but it was a cool concept. And having all the players in there ever.
Question.
Sure.
Did you create a character?
Yes, I did.
Did you come up with a backstory for your character?
No, I didn't come up with a backstory.
I did.
I didn't like typing on the throwback controller, so I was like, I'll just put my name as the bio. And
I feel
it a day. I had a really cool character going, and fucked with him a lot. And
I had a white ninja,
did you?
With the Reiko eyes.
My dude looked like he was straight out of an RPG. He was like shirtless with a dragon tattoo. He had like these big ass like metal boots and bat wings and a tail. Yeah, and that like big stone sword that
you went full edgelord, huh?
Yeah, kind of. But there's cool concepts. It was just a matter of it was what could be done at the time, and I think that's what kind of limited it. And anyway, let's move away from MK talk because I feel like we're going to be doing this a lot.
Yeah.
What were we on? Resident Evil?
Resident Evil, yeah.
I will get a full review next week.
Cool.
Like I said, I don't want to toss out half-assed ideas and shit out there. Okay, so speaking about gaming, for Rewrite This, I put down loot boxes because I had some words. And then I already have my next week's idea in mind.
Ooh.
So I'll toss it on here. But let's talk a little bit about loot boxes. So here's what I do if I rewrote this. If we're keeping loot boxes in the current state that they are, pay to win type of shit, random gambling, that game must be rated M for mature because it is a form of gambling, and certain countries in Europe have already, acted against it.
Yep.
Thoughts on that?
I think it's good.
Because now you have companies, you're not going to reach as wide of an audience if you have an M-rated game, especially if it's something like a FIFA title.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Because FIFA, it's like, it's a soccer game. There's gambling in it now that you could, put in real world money. And so I think with that, people are going to be more wary. Like, what the fuck you mean there's gambling in this? Why is there a $400 credit card charge to EA? I'm like, Billy. And I think that'd be a strong improvement. And we always talk about two games in particular when it comes to loot boxes. The first one is an improvement on what is the standard, and that is Smite.
Yes.
And here's what I like about Smite. It tells you everything that's in the loot box. You don't get duplicates for like 95% of these chests, right? It'll tell you the odds of getting that item, and that's leaning towards the side of fair. And
it's all cosmetic though. So like
it's purely cosmetic, and there's you're absolutely right. It's all cosmetic. There's like the pedestals, skins, obviously announcers, all sorts of shit, but it's not pay to win. It's pay to look good.
The only gameplay advantage that those loot boxes give you are like the favor boosters and all that shit. But who cares if it helps you really master your god?
And again, even if you do get favor boosters, it's not like that's leading into pay to win.
Yeah.
Because what do you get? You get more skins.
It's not making you better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny because like how many times have we come across a level 10 something and you're like, well, how did you fucking play this character so much? Because you're really fucking bad at this character.
Yeah, well, I guess if we're really making like a stretch here, you could dump a whole bunch of money into like a loot pool is what I'm going to call them, because it's not really a loot box. It's a loot pool into Smite. And you can get like some crazy ass, granted you never get the Archon skin for Thanatos out of a loot box because that's Odyssey stuff. But like if you get like a nice ass skin like that, the greatest advantage you could possibly ever have is like a little mind game where the other enemy team sees that you have like this crazy ass skin,
and you're like, fuck,
and they get a little worried,
Yeah,
but then it still comes down to how they play.
Yeah,
because it's like, how do you get an Archon skin if he's trash? You know what I'm saying?
True. That is true.
And then they do the whole Odyssey thing, which is beautiful because here's a bunch of challenges. Prove that you're worthy of obtaining this. And I love that.
Or not even just that. Consistently play our game, and you'll get it. Even if you're not great at it,
grind away.
Just keep grinding.
And you'll get those low hanging fruit easily. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like I said, Smite doesn't have a perfect loot box system.
No,
by no means. But it has a very fair one. You know what you're getting into. You know the odds. You know everything that's in the loot boxes. There's no duplicates, and it's fair. I'd say it's fair. It's right between like excellent and like the standard that we have now, which is like your standard loot box EA type of shit. The other game I want to talk about is we brought this up before. This is a game I picked up like early last year. Warframe. So Warframe doesn't necessarily have your traditional loot box. When you buy something, you buy that item. And granted, some of these things, well, most of them are cosmetic. You could buy upgrades and stuff, but that that doesn't really affect much of your shit. Now here's something else I found out. There is a whole community for graphic designers and people of that nature that make skins and armor for the game. But here's the cool thing. When they put them up there, right, and they got to pass like a couple of things, QA checks and like a certain amount of votes, whatever it may be, when those things get plopped out into the marketplace and you buy one, 30% of the money made
goes to
the creator. So now you have people who can quit their day job and just crank out these skins. And tell me that's not wonderful.
That is very good.
Because damn well, the guys behind Warframe could have been like, yeah, you get 1%, but we get all creative rights, we get this and that and everything, and you'd get like pennies.
Well, not even just that, just play a flat fee. Be like, we'll give you this much for it, and just move on, regardless of how successful it is.
But now it's this kind of mentality where you literally have guys that are like, I work part-time, but my full-time job is trying to come up with new badass skins for all these different Warframes and trying to get them out there. And people are thriving. They're not surviving. They're thriving off this thing.
Very
Because
cool.
3% is a lot.
Yeah.
And that's an example of, and I really love the team behind Warframe because they give a shit about the game. And I talked about the whole pet situation. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Where they had a pet thing where you could change skins, and some dude in the beta phase spent like $1,000. And they're like, you know what? We're just going to get rid of this.
Yeah.
Because they're like, there's no reason people should be paying $1,000 just to get a particular skin for their pet.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. He has like some sort of mental addiction or something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you are exploiting people at that point. You're exploiting people.
But they did the responsible thing. And they took it out. EA would have been like, let's put 2,000 more.
Yeah.
And they're a team that gives a shit about their product. And Warframe is free to play. And, you know, this is in my opinion, if you make a game free to play, you got to make money somehow.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes it might be through microtransactions. And I'm okay with it at that point.
Yeah.
Because you got to feed your kids.
Yeah.
You got to pay your mortgage.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I'd be more enticed to buying at that point.
Yeah.
Like Smite, right? We talked about how that's the best $30 you ever spent.
Yep.
Buying the whole Founders Pack.
It is.
And so that's kind of my rant about loot boxes. We need to change the setup completely, or have anything that has a pay-to-win loot box system as fucking rated M for mature.
I think it's an interesting perspective, Gabe.
Yeah, man. And
Honestly.
I'm gonna go in on some other shit next week.
Oh yeah, you got something else?
I got something brewing.
Oh, Gabe's got the craziness brewing, guys.
Yeah, man.
You know,
well, you know me. When I go on a rant, I like to bring proof and valid points. I don't just rant to rant.
Okay, interesting.
All right, so rate it this week. We got Atreyu unrated.
Yeah, we got Atreyu. So they have.
They should pull up their discography. They have a shitload of albums, don't they? Like 9, 7.
No, they don't have that many. 1,
7?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, right, 7.
Are you counting the best of?
No.
Okay, so 7 studio albums. I could already tell you what my top 3 are going to be, and everything else the order does not matter after that.
I honestly, mine's in the same ballpark. So
yeah. You want to go 3 to 1, and then everything else just toss it in the same fucking boat.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. So I'll let you go first because I'm curious what you think.
Sure. Let me just pull up their whole discography right here. I have a good mindset. Okay, so my number 3 is actually their 2015 album, Long Live. I think it was very well done, and you know, some people are gonna call me crazy, but it fits that dad metal genre, but it's still appealing to the younger metalcore crowd. You know, and I really liked a lot of the things that album did. And like I said, some people are like, oh, you know, it's very basic, but like songs like Long Live, Cut Off the Head, Bitter Broken Memory, those songs are quite quality.
Yeah.
And they put in some work, and it showed on this album. That's my number 3.
Okay. My number 3 is Death Grip on Yesterday. So
Nice.
honestly, this is probably one of their more commercially successful albums, I think.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say? I think it's fair to say. So they have X's and O's, obviously. The Theft, Shameful. There's a lot of good fucking random fucking jammers on here. And this is when I take this as when they kind of started to push towards that direction that you were talking about, because they were kind of more a typical metalcore band that was, you know, very common at the time. I think there was a time period where them and Avenged Sevenfold were kind of interchangeable as far as like sound and like musical prowess. I think it's pretty close. I've seen them back to back before, and yeah, it's very hard to tell. So yeah, I think this is probably one of their better albums, and like I said, they had some really good hits on there, and like I said, commercially, I think it did pretty well.
Good choice.
And I think this is when they started to cross over into the whole mainstream kind of point of view. People QN1 started to play them at this point, you know. So that's mine. Number 3.
Very cool. My number 2 is their debut album, Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses.
Okay.
Love it. I think it is the exemplary example of early metalcore days, where these guys were just kind of trying to fit X amount of heavy into a much smaller envelope. And songs like, oh man, like Ain't Love Grand and Deanne the Arsonists, bangers. And then obviously the big one, Lip Gloss and Black.
Yep.
Classic metalcore. Classic early 2000s MySpace core.
Facts.
Love it.
Facts. All right.
Does that one even crack your top 3?
It does not, actually.
Gotcha. You probably have Congregation of the Damned.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, I don't either.
I do
I
not.
feel like we're going to get crucified for that one.
No, not really, because, well, like...
Maybe RKO'd. You motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Aaron Jones would. He loves this band.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so moving on. The Curse, number 2.
Nice choice.
Now, kind of what you said, piggybacking off of that, this one is kind of the same kind of flavor, but it had more hits. It
Cool.
had the Right Side of the Bed, it had the Crimson. Bleeding Mascara, all that good stuff.
Bleeding Mascara was.
I've seen them. I believe I've seen them live at this point, and it's good stuff. Yeah, man, they did a great job. I think it started to find their voice a little bit with this. There's some good guitar solos in there. Good work. How do you feel about their guitar work at Atreyu as a whole? Because I have a very strong opinion about it, and it's pretty positive.
I think they've been rather consistent, and I think there's always kind of been this mentality of, well, let's switch it up, but it still sounds like Atreyu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the closest thing I could call it is like you switch the skin on, your operator, your god, whatever it is that you're playing, but their core fundamentals are still the same.
Yeah.
It's just a little extra layer or a little less layer of flavor.
Okay.
And that's my opinion on it.
Cool. So that's number 2. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I could probably guess what your number 1 is.
Yeah, what do you think it is?
Lead Sales Paper Anchor. Yeah.
This was a total 180 from the band at this point in their discography. I think that's safe to say, where they did kind of pop rock to alternative rock, a little somewhere in that area, right? I love it. This album is pretty much all singles. Really, they're all solid singles. Would you agree with that?
No,
or you got some beef?
No, you're right. That's funny because like you said, I think a lot of people view it as kind of their
low point.
No, not that, but their pop rock radio kind of vibe. But I'm like, there's songs in here that fucking rip harder than anything they've ever put out.
Like Becoming the Bull,
Doomsday
rips,
fucking
1-2-1.
Yeah, Lose It.
Can't Happen Here, Slow Burn, Blow.
Yeah,
I think this is the album that Atreyu needed at that point, because like you said, what was this, 2007?
Yeah.
This was at a point where metalcore wasn't quite mainstream yet, but there were a lot of up and coming bands that would lead the mainstream, like Devil Wears Prada, and you had a lot of these scene kids coming out of the woodwork and starting to crank out albums at this time. And Atreyu, I don't know, man, maybe they have some future foresight, but what they did was they dropped this album, which made me go back to them. Yeah. So it was kind of Atreyu's good, but then I heard this and I was like, fuck, Atreyu's really good. And then I went back and re-listened to the entire discography, man, and that's what this album did for me.
You know what's crazy?
Sure.
There's only a year, not even. A Death Grip on Yesterday came out in 2006. Let's Sell Paper Anchor came out in 2007.
So they must have recorded those two back to back
just
within
about
a 3-month span.
Think about it. That's only 3 tours, and then they're in the studio again.
If that, because studio work is a lot of work. And these albums are very well produced.
I didn't realize.
Well done.
Because in my head, the time period between the two was bigger because maybe I was younger or whatever it may be, but I don't remember them being that.
But yeah, Let's Sell Paper Anchors is my number 1. Say what you want. I think it's a phenomenal album, and this is the kind of twist on the discography that was welcomed. And I don't think people kind of look at this album, they're like, yeah, that's trash. I think they'll be like, yeah. I think the worst thing you could say about this album is 2 or 3 songs off it. I think that's the absolute worst thing you could say, because there's nobody out there that's like, bro, this is garbage. This is bad blood Atreyu. Everybody likes something off this album.
This is true.
I think that's the worst thing.
Even if you like the fucking Outsiders Falling Down music video, everybody liked that. I don't give a fuck what you say. Everybody thought that was cool, at least.
Yeah, man. Like I said, classic Atreyu fans, songs like Becoming the Bull, Doomsday, and Blow. Well, maybe not Blow.
Blow's a borderline. But
yeah, but it's those songs that's classic Atreyu.
Yep.
I
feel. And again, I've mentioned this when I saw them. They still fucking rip live. They're still good. I don't know how they pulled it off.
And they're still playing songs off this album that's 12 years old at this point.
Yes, they are. They played fucking
4
songs, 4 songs. They played Becoming the Bull, Blow, Falling Down, and when 2R1.
Yeah, that one's good too.
That's good shit, man. So yeah, that's my number 1 too. I mean, spoiler alert, but yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I said,
same thing.
The purists out there won't like that answer, but fuck
so Congregation of the Damned. Let's talk about this.
Sure. I think this would fit my number 4 spot.
You think so?
I think so. And I know we kind of lumped them in as one category. I think this is a solid album.
It's funny because I feel like I like the album. I bought it when it came out, when it was brand new. I feel like this is when we all kind of felt the wheels were falling off a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think even the band, because they took a hiatus after this album dropped, and they only toured for a year off of it. Because like I said, they kind of felt like the wheels were starting to fall off of it a little bit. And I'm glad that
a 6-year break.
Yeah, I'm glad they took that time because, like I said, I just saw them and they're still as good as they ever been.
Yeah, man. I mean, at Warped Tour, they fucking shredded 2 years ago.
They did that too. Yeah, they kicked some ass at Warped Tour. So
acting like they're 18 again, except not as fat this time.
Well, Yeah.
Well, the lead singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Atreyu is a band that's tried and true, and recently there's been some controversy with some of the shit they said, but
What do they say?
like, oh, we invented metalcore. Yeah, okay.
About that.
I think it's that rock star mentality, and if you've been in the scene and you've been as successful as long as these guys for 17 years. The first album came out in 2002. Think about it. They've been doing this for 2 decades consistently, and each album is.
You
is
shut
of
your mouth,
quality.
Gabe.
What? 17 years?
Stop
man.
it.
They've been doing this for 2 decades.
Stop it.
Think about this.
He's not gonna stop.
You've only lived without Atreyu for 4 years of your life.
Shut up.
5 years.
Shut up.
Think about that.
Well, no. Well,
5 years. A little over 5 years.
2002.
Uh-huh.
I was born in 93, so I was like 9.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm not you, bro. That's you.
Okay, so you're 9.
Yeah.
Still, think about that, though. That's like, you're, what, 26 now?
25.
25. So you're,
Shut
like,
up,
60%
Gabe.
of your life has been with Atreyu. Old man Jake.
Damn it.
All right, let's talk some music while we're at it.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah, I have seen this.
Back in the studio.
Yeah.
The Ghost Inside. It's been now 4 years since their accident. A little under 4 years.
Think about that. We covered that when that happened.
Yeah, man. I'm ready. I don't want to be selfish.
I think all of us.
I think the world is ready, but I don't want to be selfish. These guys need the time.
Yeah.
And, I've said it 100 times, and I'll probably say it 100 times more. Whatever this next album is,
It's going to be epic.
it's going to be brutal. It's going to be honest. And, the Ghost Inside kind of appeals to that spoken word core where it hits you deep. Like, it's kind of like Silent Planet in a way. It's reminiscent of it, right? But like I said, man, the shit that these guys went through, and like I follow Vigil on is it Vigil or Virgil? Virgil. I'm sorry, I had my Siege talk messed up. I follow him on Twitter, and some of the shit that comes out of his mouth is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And not like dude, that was metal, like stuff that's like makes your heartstrings kind of tear apart.
Yeah.
And man, this next album,
It's going to be good.
it's gonna be wild, and the tour, if they decide to tour,
That tour is going to sell out every fucking venue.
it's gonna be emotional. It's gonna be Wetworks in there.
I guarantee
It's gonna
it.
be fucking Wetworks in there.
They're not even going to have to bring out like crazy support. They're going to sell out.
They're gonna have like one opening band.
Yeah, because they could sell it out. They're going to play like 2 hours too. Think about that.
They got the discography for it, man. You could play those 2 albums back to back.
Well, you
The
know.
Mountain one and I can't think of the names right now, and then the one with the
Dear
feather pen.
Yeah, DearEath.
Oh fuck! Don't talk to me about Dear Youth. I don't even want to see that live, man. I know I'm gonna get wet. Not
So, yeah,
on my
man.
pussy either, but yeah, man. So they're back in the studio. I'm excited. Like I said, dude, I don't want to be selfish. I want new material, but these guys need the time, and I can't say that I get it. I can't say that I understand what they're going through, but for lack of better terms, I understand the need for time, and I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be very good.
And yeah, man, merch bundle is gonna sell out. Tickets are gonna sell out. Albums
Everything's-
are gonna sell out. This is gonna be the comeback that we all waited for.
they're gonna make so much money off this tour or off their next couple of things, man.
Very cool. On a much darker note,
Yeah.
Jonny Craig back at it again with the drugs.
Yeah, he's
He's out.
again. He's out of Slaves.
And wasn't that like his?
That was his.
Wasn't he one of the founding members at that
Yeah,
thing? He was
he-
like, "Let's do Slaves."
Yeah.
And man, it's unfortunate when somebody, especially a founding member, especially a vocalist founding member like Jonny Craig, who has such a definitive voice and a distinct tone, gets kicked out of a project like Slaves, because Slaves is quality.
Well, you have to keep in mind that he's been kicked out of 3 projects at this point.
Dance Gavin Dance, Slaves, and what else?
Emerosa.
Oh, yeah, man, I forgot about those Emerosa years. Wow, look at that. Three very excellent bands. We kind of grew up around the Emerosa time and that era of Dance Gavin Dance, right? I haven't delved so much into Slaves because, I've been in the heavier things.
That's
yeah, but
good.
Slaves, there's quality. Think about that. Maybe it's time to get shit under control.
Well, that's my thing. Like my point is, and I know.
I'd get maybe one band.
Yeah, because when I saw it on Alternate Press, and I'm like, this fucking guy, and I posted it. And I'm like, this is why I cannot. I mean, I understand he has problems. I get it, but this is why I can't invest in any of his projects ever.
Yeah, because you're fucking heartbroken and
every time.
shit. Like 3 years
And
later.
some smart is like, well, that's what addicts do. I'm like, I fucking know that, dipshit. I've been following this. How old are you? You're like 15. Get the fuck out of my face. Anyway, but yeah, every project he's been a part of that I've enjoyed. All of his projects. It's just he can't get his shit together.
Here's the thing. I can't speak of the 3 bands' commercial success. I could tell you from my standpoint that in my eyes they're very successful bands because Dance Gavin Dance, Amorosa, and Slaves has always kind of, well, less so Slaves, but those two first bands projects have always pushed the boundaries. They've always kind of pushed what each band member can do as a collective. And I would put Slaves as getting there, right? And it's like musically they're successful. I like I said, can't speak about commercially. I don't know how much these guys reel in, but it's this fact that he has the talent. He could do it. It's like getting your life together though. Like look at Alex Kohler. You know, I don't know if he still is, but he was an alcoholic at the time that he left Chelsea Grin. He's like, I am a danger to myself and this band, and so I am stepping away. And he realized it. And I think Jonny Craig is in a position where either he realizes and doesn't want to admit it, or he's just totally lying to himself.
He's kind of a dick, I've heard. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll agree with you on that, but he's not. This dude's educated. He knows, I don't want to say right from wrong, but he knows what he's doing.
Well, you have to consider that there was the whole MacBook thing. I don't know how long you've been around, but the whole MacBook thing where he was like selling Macs and taking people's money and just not delivering. First off, if you're a fucking moron if you took that. But yeah, he's known for being kind of a diva, and I get it. You're extremely talented, and you know you slightly earned that. There's a piece of that you earned.
But here's the thing with other like divas like Ronnie Radke and Ollie Sykes, those guys don't endanger their life's work. Well, not so much Ollie anymore,
and not Ronnie anymore.
Right, but there wasn't a point where it got so bad that they got kicked out, and Bring Me the Horizon got replaced with. Okay. Yeah, all right, you got me there. But still, though, you know what I'm saying? Like Ronnie Radke came back with that other band that I can't. There you go, and they've been commercially successful, and we have opinions, but that doesn't matter because he's making money and Ollie's making money, and they're both in good standing. It's just a matter of look at Jonny Craig, 3 musically very talented groups. You pick up any one of those members and you toss it in another band, and you could argue that's a super group, really. And 3 beautiful things that came out of this collective, and it just didn't work out.
It's weird because like I feel like there was an era. He was part of that era of vocalists who couldn't get their shit together. I put Craig Owens in there. Ronnie Radke was in there. I've got the guys who just couldn't get their shit together, but the other guys did.
Yeah, but the other guys did, and that's the point.
And he never.
It's like all right, Ronnie Radke had his wild streak, but he's okay now.
Yeah.
He's relatively tame.
Yeah, he never got it. I don't know.
I mean, look at Ollie. The dude was doing ketamine, and now he's just dropping pop albums. Granted, it's not what I want from him. Maybe start taking ketamine again.
Maybe we need that.
Yeah, but he needs to do what's right for him, and we need to do what's right for us. And
I'll talk about that in a minute.
Jonny Craig, if you want to do if making drugs makes you feel better, do you, man? But we don't. It's upsetting. It really is.
Tag me out,
because we grew up with this guy. We really did.
Yeah, it's sad, but man, you got how many more chances do you get?
No, man. Yeah. It's 3 strikes, you're out.
Exactly.
It's goddamn America.
I think the dude. I mean, he's the type of guy who, obviously, with the projects that he has started and been a part of, he's a guy who tries to keep himself busy. Maybe you need to take some time to reflect on yourself and get your shit straight.
And here's the thing, though. Like, all these bands have been successful. I feel like I've been just saying that all the time, right? But I'd get one. Your band blows up and you're living like a rock star doing drugs. I could get one. Everybody makes mistakes. 2, 3 now? Come on.
Yeah, that's
get
pretty
shit
bad.
Together. All right.
Yeah.
You ready to dive into this next one?
Well, hold on. Sorry.
You wanna?
I listened about halfway through it. I don't want to give a full review. I will say first impressions are solid. I'm not overwhelmed.
Yeah, I'm going to give a full review because
okay, that's fair.
I kind of prepared for this one. I listened to this album all the way through.
Well, I had 2 albums that I had to get to. And
yeah, I know. I didn't get to the other one you're going to talk about, but I think that's fair because you talk about one, I talk about the other. And I think, here's my thing, right? Before I dive into this album review, I think I would have been more forgiving on the Bring Me the Horizon album review, and I think you would have been more forgiving on this album review. So I think it's fair that we took opposites this time. All right? I think it's absolutely fair.
You can try on the light game if he's getting too dark.
Yeah, man. All right. Oh, fuck. All right. So let's talk about strength and numbers. This is the debut album by the supergroup FEVER333. There's no...
Was it debut? No, they had an album.
They had an EP.
No, they had an album.
What was the album?
The last album. They had an album.
Oh, Made in America?
Yeah, that was an album.
Oh, shit, it was. Okay, my bad. This is the second album.
Sophomore effort.
Band. Sophomore effort, I guess if you want to call it that. It's been like a year.
True.
Been like a couple months if you
technically-
figure touring.
Technically,
recording.
it's been a year between freshman year and sophomore year.
Yeah, all right. You win this one. So, this album and this band has made its way into what I like to call politicore, with bands like Stray from the Path. And I guess you could kind of brush Stick to Your Guns kind of in there to some extent, right? And, that's not a bad thing. Politics are kind of fucked up in the States now, and everybody's warring all the time, it seems, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to dive into politics because...
Politics.
Because that's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about music, movies,
Having
and
good times.
Having good times. Where do I start? Okay, let's talk. So this
Start at the beginning.
album, first impressions is where I like to start. This album is Jason Butler returning to form on Let Live. This album, if you like the latter half of Let Live's discography, everything past the American.
Well, there's only one album past that, so.
Oh yeah, the fuck. What was it called too? Copper
Uh,
colored. No, that was a single.
the America, the biggest black or greatest black.
Yeah, that like weird white and copper colored album.
Wait,
we're
we're thinking about a different album then. If the Devil or something like that.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I'm the devil.
If
I
I'm the
think.
Devil or something like that. Yeah.
Right. I think if you like that style of Let Live, this will kind of fit right in because it has a little pop swirl pizzazz on it. This album very much caters to the west side of the USA. And you mentioned West Coast bounce, and I love that terminology because now I can't unhear it and I can't get rid of it in my vocab, right?
It's in your lexicon now.
Yeah, it has West Coast bounce. And this is kind of a conglomeration of punk music, some elements of hardcore, some elements of hip-hop rap.
Yeah.
That's to be expected with Jason Butler
Yep.
projects at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my mentality.
All right, let's go. Let's hear it.
The first half of this album does absolutely nothing for me. It doesn't even captivate me, and
Ooh.
it feels like that later half of Let Live, man. But not because I enjoy Let Live. I don't want to call it a burden or a chore listening to it, but it was kind of in the background.
It was noise.
It was noise. The song that kind of took me in was Inglewood.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
And so here's what I think about Inglewood. This song is like an ode to the shitty town of Inglewood, California. Ironically, we have an Inglewood in Illinois.
Inglewood.
And so it kind of, what I'm assuming, the lyrics are what I'm assuming are about Jason Butler's life growing up.
His upbringing.
It's really shitty, right? And I get it. If you grew up in that part of town, you're probably, going to be shitty. And so about 3/4 of the way through the song, it kind of slows down and it devolves into madness in a very good way. It brings back the hardcore elements that we needed from that first EP that they dropped. And that's what I wanted from Fever. And so songs, continuing like The Innocent, like there's parts in it where the songs will start off strong, but they'll won't be anything more than like nu metal kind of, well, not traditional nu metal in a sense, but like this kind of wave of nu metal, rap metal, and then it'll devolve into the hardcore stuff I like. And songs like Coup d'Etat, which I love, I think that's a phenomenal thing. They kind of drive home my point, is what I'm trying to say in here. The Fever has been taken. The world has been swept by the Fever. I think that's fair to say, right? These guys have blown the fuck up because it's a super group.
Let's think about this. I want to just how organic that blow up was. Because like it's very easy to say, hey man, he had Let Live and the other guy had the Chariot. It's very like, oh, we can credit all of that. Nah, dude. Honestly, at this point, the Fever is bigger than either of those two bands.
Chariot, then
Let Live.
Let Live.
Granted, Let Live, they were getting there, man. I fucking love Let Live. They're one of my favorite
My opinion
bands.
on Let Live is the same on 100th. If they would have just cranked out another quality album, they would have been there. They would have broken it into maybe not like headlining festivals, but definitely like B tier.
Yeah.
And, but we can't discredit them. This is a super group at the end of the day, like I said. And Jason Butler being the driving force, being kind of almost like the Jonny Craig, not to shame Jason Butler because, I have so much more respect for him.
Me too. Yeah.
But he's kind of the creative force behind this.
Yes.
And this album, here are my positives. The instrumentals are good.
Yes.
This is a lot of work for a 3-man group.
Yeah.
This is a
Absolutely.
force of nature, instrumentally wise. Lyricism, there's some deep shit in there. I can't relate to half of it because we grew up around it, not in it.
Wait.
Sure.
Is it you can't relate to it because it's so specific or because you've never experienced stuff like that?
I think it's a little bit of both because this album feels targeted to all those kids in like Compton and like, you know, on MLK Drive and in the shitty neighborhoods.
I think. Well, here's the problem with that. I mean, I understand why it doesn't appeal to us, for instance.
Right.
But
like I said, we grew up around it, not in it.
But I think this, because of what I heard so far, I've enjoyed it from what I've heard. But I think this has an opportunity to open up doors to this style of music for people who wouldn't normally give it the time of day.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I like my hardcore with a little bit of hip hop. A little bit of a hip hop vibe to it.
Yeah, we know. You grew up on the west side mentally.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, so that's just, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb your story.
Yeah, no worries. Here's my opinion on where this band is and where they're heading. They are this generation's version of Rage Against the Machine. And I think that's a very good spiritual successor. Mm-hmm. Here's what I think is not going to happen to the Fever. These guys are a supergroup. Rage was not. They were playing basement shows. They were playing dirty, grimy stuff, right? Venues, I should say. And it all got to their heads. Tom Morello did Audio Slave, then Prophets of Rage, and now his solo stuff, which I dislike heavily.
Yeah.
I can't even like Zach De La Roja's stuff solo because it's just not. I don't like it. You know, we kind of spoke about this with a lot of bands, how it's a collective.
Summers are greater than its parts.
And I think Fever is very conscientious about this. They've seen what the predecessors have done, and they're going to avoid this because they're three very mature guys that have been in commercially successful bands. Well, you know, before
give or take, yeah.
Give or take, right? They've had
bands who have had success.
Yeah, they've all had their degree of fame and success. And I think they're going to avoid the whole messy, fuck you, fuck him, he said, she said bullshit. And I do think that they come out at a very good time in this political landscape, and I think that they couldn't have picked a better, you know, thing. Like, do you know it's this death metal band out of Mexico called Brujeria?
Yeah.
They haven't dropped an album since like 2004, and then Trump gets elected, album, right?
Yeah.
So it's very. They've come at a good time, and like you said, it's very organic.
Yeah.
And so, this album for me gets a solid 7. I see its potential. I see their growth, and like you said, man, this band has been very organic, and nothing feels like bullshit. Like Jason Butler would give it to you straight.
I feel like they were not plastered on the covers of magazines, and they were force fed to us.
Well, they did their debut show in like a donut shop parking lot, right?
In a parking lot of a donut shop, yeah. That's very punk rock. And
now they're selling out venues.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, because like what bands like they came up really fast, like bands like Sleeping with Sirens, like they were force fed to the scene. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Yeah, no, Sleeping with Sirens is falling off.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bands like that. You just feel like they were anticipated to be the latest and greatest. This band didn't have it. This was all groundswell. This is all people who, like I said, they did have the previous success in other bands, but they didn't rely on that. Like you don't see, I forget the dude's name. I'm sorry, the guitar player. We don't see from the Chariot. We don't see Jason Butler from Let Live. This is Jason Butler, and this I forget the guy. I'm sorry, Phil. No, that's not Phil.
he looks like Phil.
He looks like our buddy Phil, but like that's what you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't have that. They don't rely too heavily on the past of what they previously had done.
And here's the thing: they're not trying to make it work. They're cranking out music that they want to hear, that they feel has a strong message, and I 110% love that. Agree with that. Every sort of thing with it. This album kind of fell short for me, man. And it might be me. It might be this album. I don't know. I'll say what you want, but
I'm just saying. Well,
solid 7.
B ain't bad, right?
No, it's not bad. Well, I think a 70 is a C.
C. Well,
it's not a bad album. It's just they're kind of drifting into that territory of the rap metal kind of, because Jason Butler does that. He spits and he knows what he's talking about. It's just kind of, I don't know what to say about this album without being super disrespectful to everybody in the group. It wasn't for me.
Okay.
And
I would say a 7 isn't not for you. You're a little underwhelmed.
Yeah, I am underwhelmed. I expected a little bit more of the hardcore influence because that's what drew me in.
Well, I think from the perspective of Jason Butler, he has another band that does that.
Right, and we spoke about this, and I like Pressure Cracks more.
Yeah.
That's fair because they're writing now because Jason Butler never fucking sleeps.
Ever.
But
you had the great one of the greatest analysis you ever said. You said Jason Butler is the Childish Gambino of this scene, and that's that's right on par.
He does so many things.
Yeah,
and here's what I'll tell you, Jason. No, fuck that. The FEVER333. If you think your situation is unfair, if you hate what this country is becoming, if you hate this red state, blue state bullshit, this album is for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you think that something's just not going your way, check out this album because it has a lot of good angst.
Yeah.
A lot of bands have angst. Sometimes it's not very good. This album captures what it means to be a rebellious youth in the USA today,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's noteworthy.
Cool.
Is it for me right now? No.
Fair.
You know me, man. I like illusion. I like literary fucking devices in my songwriting, and he uses that. But you know me, man. I like that weird, spooky shit, like that Ville Valo style of writing. You know.
Feel you.
And you feel me?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to discredit Jason here or Ville.
Is this too literal?
Yeah, man. It's too upfront.
It's too literal. To
And
you.
some people might like that. And by all means, if that's your thing, hop on this album. Solid, strong 7. Strong 7. Last week I said Wrist Meat Razor 7.5 to 8. And
Which one do you prefer so far?
Wrist Meat Razor.
Okay.
These guys are doing a lot of things that... Those guys are doing a lot of things that I like.
Uh-huh.
And granted, maybe if you like that West Coast bounce, you won't like Wrist Meat Razor because they're very East Core. East Core. That's what we're going to call it now.
East Core, West Core.
I think that's very fair. I think that's a very fair
We're gonna
assessment.
start a rivalry, and next thing you know, they're gonna be shooting each other like the East Coast, West Coast hip hop,
You
bro.
already know which side I'm on. But and I'm going to talk about another East Core band shortly here. But solid 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think even if you're not in this scene, you should check it out. If you have a heavy rap influences, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's me.
Oh yeah, if
Yeah.
you have heavy rap influences, man, if you grow up in like a bad neighborhood, check out this album because it's it's a good way to get some steam off. But,
Fair.
Yeah, man. So that's my review. I think I was honest and I
Yeah.
think I was fair to it. So this band, I'm sorry, this isn't on the agenda. I'm gonna toss this in here real quick. I'm gonna keep it short before we dive into our favorite boys from what part were they on?
I don't know. I forget.
With an S, I think.
Sheffield.
It's Suffolk,
Sure.
UK.
Sure.
I think one of the
Whatever.
two.
Who cares?
So
importantly.
one of the bands that I quite enjoy, I gave a review on last year. They signed with Pure Noise Records, so they're on with guys like Knocked Loose.
Yeah.
Okay, so See You Space Cowboy is another East Core band that
Yeah.
is devolved into fucking madness. If you like Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat by Slipknot, check them out. If you like the Dillinger Escape Line, check them out. If you like Every Time I Die, East Core shit, check out See You Space Cowboy. I actually pre-ordered it's not their full length album. It's a conglomeration of a couple of new songs and their 2 EPs into a 13-track thing. Pure madness. I love it. If you're looking for something wild and totally out there, check them out. The dude from See You Space Cowboy came out and covered with Wrist Meat Razor. I love that shit. They're like boys out there.
Oh, cool.
You know? So I want to see those two guys
Where are
touring
they from?
again.
Wrist Meets Razor. Where are they from?
Somewhere East Coast. I couldn't tell you.
That's a large portion of the country there, Gabe.
You let me look this up. I'm willing to bet they're from Pennsylvania because there's a lot of good stuff coming out of Pennsylvania.
Wouldn't surprise me if they were like from let me think, like New Hampshire.
Great American Ghost is from
Boston.
New Hampshire.
I thought they're from Boston.
Oh shit, yeah they are.
Because Boston metalcore is where it's at, baby. Boston hardcore.
Yeah, man. I'm looking.
Oh, what we got?
Looking. I don't really.
Bro.
Where from? We're getting desperate here.
Any luck? See, if you had a Facebook, you could just pull it up on Facebook right quick.
Well, you pull it up.
I don't like this band on Facebook. Hold on, let me see.
I mean, you can still peek.
Yeah, I guess. Hold on.
I know the label's out of Ohio, but they're definitely East Coast.
Pure Noise, or what label are they on?
Wrist Meat Razor's on Prosthetic.
Prosthetic.
Damn, we're so like grossly unprepared.
Yeah, this is horrible. They are from. Doesn't say. Hold on. Oh shit! I just burped. Doesn't say.
Damn, where the fuck are these guys from?
You don't even know where they're from, and you're talking about them from being from the whatchamacallit. This man's like, man.
Hang on, Spotify might actually have it.
Oh, Spotify.
Well, because there's like artist descriptions and stuff. No, not Weezer. I put WREE. Ree.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at these guys. First off, okay. Oh, yeah, they're friends though. I just saw the post up of your buddies. Man, what the fuck? I don't know, dude. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm moving on, Gabe. I'm sorry. You dig it up. You dig it up, all right? But yeah, man. So interesting. So I got some stuff from my certified bangers coming up in a minute, but let me talk about something real quick.
It really doesn't say anywhere.
So you don't even know? Why are you saying they're from the East Coast? You don't even know.
Damn, I'm sorry. I'm giving out false. They gotta be though, man.
You think that?
Watch, they're gonna be out of Ohio or some shit.
Either that or they'd be like in the middle of fucking Sweden or something like that.
No, they're not Swedish. I promise you that.
Oh, yeah? How do you know? Exactly. Moving on.
Icelandic.
So let me talk about something. All right. So there's another album that came out this week, Gabe.
Yeah. From the giants known as Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah. So I started it. That's all I really have to say about it.
Nothing else?
I started it, and I almost turned it off like 3 times.
Yeah. Here's my thing. If I wanted to listen to pop music that's of this nature, why would I just not go to another British band that I would say does it much better?
Too.
And you're going to despise me for it. The 1975. Because here's my thing. They specialize in this.
That's fair.
Bring Me the Horizon has, if you want to call it, evolved or morphed into this.
Morphed.
But 1975
Digressed.
is kind of bred. They're purebred, you know? I don't want to mix.
So I started it, and like even more so than the last album, which I had strong opinions about. Episode number 2 of the Second City Kids podcast, if you're interested in checking that out. Dude, it's borderline Bieber. You know? I was just really confused. I'm so confused. And I get it, man. You want to be like all those fucking, what's it called? SoundCloud rappers and shit with your fucking stupid look and how you fucking present yourself in your fucking band now, even though everybody else in that band is a serious musician, and I think they should be treated as such. But I fucking hate it. I don't know how else to candy coat. Again, this is an album. Well, the FEVER333 is an album I only got halfway through because time constraints. This is an album I only got halfway through because I couldn't fucking take it anymore.
Sure. We said this before. This era of Bring Me the Horizon is not for us.
It's the worst era.
That being said, I don't think you should take our reviews, take it with a grain of salt. You know, we're kind of used to that dirty, sloppy, tell Slater not to wash his dick type of stuff.
What's not even that? This is not even that. This is so much wrong with it. I feel like it's such a big step down musically. Even I get it, dude.
At the end of the day,
you have fucking purple hair now.
At the end of the day, you know what matters?
If it sells?
Two things.
If it sells?
1, if it sells. And 2, as long as they're happy with what they're doing. Because you know what? We cannot like the album. That's okay. You know who's got to live with himself? Ollie Sykes. And if at the end of the day, he this is what he wants to do you, man. And that's what's important, because there's people that enjoy this album.
Who?
You'd be surprised. This album's gotten a lot of good stuff.
But who?
Oh, man, have you seen Twitter lately?
No, I don't look at Twitter. Is that a parrot? Is that not a parrot?
Yeah, I'm not going to delve into it. I kind of knew by the last single that this album's not for me. And I'm not going to discredit it because there's people out there that will enjoy it. I'm sure my girlfriend will enjoy it. And,
I've seen like 3 articles by Alternative Press with them trying to hype it up, being like, well,
alt press isn't really music news.
That's good. That's also very true.
That's a garbage source.
How does Maddie feel about it?
She hasn't listened to it yet.
She hasn't listened to you?
No.
She's a fan.
Yeah, she is a fan. She liked That's the Spirit. But I think that's all we need to say about it.
This shit makes That's the Spirit feel like fucking Cannibal Corpse.
Okay, that's a hell of a metaphor.
Yeah. I'm moving on from that.
So here's my thing. I'm gonna check the back of the record and see where the fuck Wrist Meat Razor's from. If I can't find it there, I don't know, man. It's literally not listed anywhere. I think it's so weird.
It is the great mystery of the world.
Why
don't you tweet at
Where
them?
in the world is Wrist Meat Razor?
Check their Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'll tweet at them. No, I checked their Twitter. It's not on there.
Oh really?
It says no location.
No location? They're from fucking the parts unknown?
They're from the slave pit that Guar is from.
Oh, okay.
They're born out of hate.
All right, so sliding on down. I'm done with Bring Me the Horizon. I'm not even.
Yeah, man, that's fair.
I am not going to justify them.
Like I said,
any further.
they transitioned into something that's not for us, and that's okay. I forgave 100. I can forgive Bring Me the Horizon. Jacob's shaking his head.
Moving on.
Talk to me about your certified bangers.
No, actually, we got the 10-song set list. Did you not do this?
Oh yeah, no, I actually did this. I'm sorry, I totally skipped over that topic.
So, for the record, me and Gabe decided off air that we were going to do UnderØath because we couldn't remember if we did them or not.
I feel like we did.
I think you might be right, but fuck it.
I think we might have done it, but not
like in an official capacity.
Not in a 10-song set list thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think we might have done it something else. You want to go first? Should I go first?
Well, first off, let me say, I mean, out of all the bands we probably have ever done on a 10-song set, this is probably the hardest one I've ever done.
Probably for you.
Because I've done 10. Because like I did 10. I wasn't going to cheat. You know how fucking hard this was, Gabe? It was super fucking hard.
Yeah, you have a much closer attachment to this band than I do, so I was a little bit more objective about it. I think I'll go first because you're probably going to tear yourself apart.
Yeah.
We're going to open up with Erase Me because it was the second single off.
Erase Me.
Yeah.
Something about a song. There's no song called Erase Me on Erase Me.
What?
There's no song called Erase Me on Erase Me. The Erase Me is the name of the album.
What the fuck am I thinking of that?
I don't know. You fucking
Hang on,
tell
let me
me.
pull up the album.
I don't know. You thinking On My Teeth?
No, that's further down the line.
Okay. So what are you talking about?
Let me just verify.
Yeah, you do.
All right. Looks like I forgot my UnderØath. Moving on to the opening in regards to myself.
Yeah, no shit.
Young and aspiring, On My Teeth, Illuminator, It's Dangerous Business, Reinventing Your Exit, Rapture, Boy Brushed in Red, and I was going to close out with Writing on the Wall, but now I got to bump that back and find a fucking replacement. What am I going to toss in there?
Did you do Breathing? Oh, that's my child.
Breathing a New Mentality. There we go.
Yeah.
Or Desperate Times, Desperate Measures. I
Oh,
like that
fuck,
one
I forgot that one too.
Yeah, so we'll do Desperate Times, Desperate Measures leading into Writing on the Wall. That's my 10-song set list. And Jacob's tearing himself up because you forgot a shitload of stuff. Didn't you?
Yeah, dude. It's so
Sorry,
hard.
man. That was sloppy on my part. I swear. It's because I didn't really listen to Erase Me like that.
Oh, for shame, Gabe, for shame. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right, so I tried my best to balance this the best I could.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, and when I say that, I just realized I didn't have any songs of disambiguation on here either. But
You didn't have Illuminator?
no, dude.
Cardinal sin.
All right, so number one.
You get like 1.5 songs from each album.
Yeah, it's hard, dude. Breathing in a New Mentality, I'm opening out with just because I think it's nice and nasty. All right. And plus, I just love the intro of the song. Oh, God damn it. I forgot so many songs. In regards to myself, is number 2.
Very cool.
All right. It's because it's probably my favorite UnderØath song. It's very hard to say.
It's definitely up there.
It's up there. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I could include it in my 10 song set list. Oh, God.
Hey, don't play it.
Oh, God. 3, Wake Me. Not Erase Me. Wake Me. I enjoyed that. It kind of changed it up a little bit of a curveball. Oh, fuck, this is so hard. A Boy Brushed Red, Living in Black and White. All right. That's 4. Number 5 is In Motion, one of the newer songs that I really, really enjoyed. Fuck. 6 is Down Set Go, which is again another little bit of a curveball. That's one of my favorite songs by them easily, but not as in high regard as some of the more commercially successful stuff that they've done. You're Ever So Inviting, because it slaps. It slaps
Banger.
so fucking hard.
With the Blue Note.
Huh?
With the Blue Note interlude into it.
No, that's it's Dangerous Business Walking Out Your Front Door.
There we go.
Which is next? Your dangerous. Dangerous
all right.
Yeah, it's Dangerous Business Walking Out Your Front Door. Damn, Melisana, relax. Sorry, mamas. I'll get you later.
She wants some attention.
Number 9, On My Teeth.
And Writing on the Wall.
Number 10 is Writing on the Wall.
Cool.
So you know how fucking hard this was, Gabe? Because you said Young and Inspiring. I'm like, fuck, I forgot about that one. And you said a couple
of bangers.
A couple other ones along the way. So,
what band are we doing next week?
It's your choice.
Our choice for a band next week. We haven't done Chelsea Grin. Let's do Chelsea Grin.
Fair. All right.
Chelsea Grin 10-song set list. Catch it next week on 104.
Yep. All right. Let's do Certified of the Bangers, and we'll get the hell out of here. All right. So, plus I got NXT to watch in a minute, so fucking give me crazy. All right. So, I got them. All right.
Let's talk.
My Certified of the Bangers of the week. I have 3 bands that I want to talk about because I went down that hardcore rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, you
this
did.
week. All right. Now, to no surprise for my people who know how much of a hardcore kid I am, this is what we got. All right. I have an EP from a band called Sanction, called The Infringement of God's Plan, because that's how hardcore it is. This album fucking rips. I found myself like multiple times when I'm listening to these breakdowns and shit. It's just like fuck, it's so good. And they're on tour with Knocked Loose, so
yeah, man. If Knocked Loose says, "Hey, let's go," you know it's good.
Yeah, it slaps. So fucking excellent.
If they
work.
have Keith's blessing, they have my blessing.
Facts. So Sanction, good shit. Like I said, heavy as fuck, and you're gonna hear a lot of the repetitiveness when it comes to the type of review that I'm gonna give. Also, moving on, another EP from a band called The Year of the Knife. First State Aggression. Slaps. It's heavy as fuck. I love it. I love it. All right. Moving on. Last up, Only Self by Jesus Peace.
Jesus Peace smacks. Confirmed.
Smacks. And what is it, Gabe? Was my other thing that I said?
Oh, what's the other thing you said?
It's heavy as fuck.
There you go.
Those are my 3 certified bangers of the week.
Here's the thing with Jesus Peace. They can't be sneaky because that shit's so thick you can hear them ass cheeks clapping together coming down the hallway. Talking about motherfuckers who got the exclamation mark on their head when they near.
Bro, they got that thickness that fucking makes your head cave in
Yeah,
when
man.
you try to drink it.
Kind of working in the same vein. If you like those 3 bands or anything a part of that, check out a band called Judiciary. They dropped a single called Social Crusade. Check this shit out, Smacks.
Nice.
Very much in the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a quality show. I think I gave a good review.
Fuck you.
You don't give albums a chance.
No.
And you shouldn't. I don't even think you should have done the review.
You don't think so?
Nah, man.
Because it sucks?
I think if we do a review, we got to give it a good listen. We got to be open-minded. And,
I can't.
And that's fine. That's
I can't.
okay. But I think it was,
I cannot disassociate what they were to what they have become, Gabe.
it's all right, man.
It's like America.
There's still a piece of them that we love, like there is a hell and some paternal.
And then that is it.
I like some of the earlier stuff.
No,
like
I
Count
do
Your
other stuff
Blessings
too.
and
But like now they're so far removed from that, it's like I can't even look at them the same.
no, man. I understand. I was there, and I just recently got over it. But it's okay. Let it out and say your goodbyes because those motherfuckers are so far out at sea they're never coming back.
You're right.
Jack, no, turn this bitch around. Turn this bitch around.
All right, fair enough. Now with that, I think that go ahead and wrap up that episode 103, buddy. All right, so you can go ahead and like us on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker. I just threw us on Spreaker. I don't know what
the fuck is Spreaker.
I guess it's
you having a stroke there.
That's another. It's another podcast.
Very cool
option for people to listen to. Avenue. That's the word I was looking for.
There's a place on Spreaker Avenue.
You're an idiot. I hate you.
Where podcasts are clear.
Anyway,
the sunsets are blue.
Okay, stop it. Okay. Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, all that good stuff. You can go ahead and like us on there. I've been getting a little bit more active on the Twitter recently. So if you guys want to come hang out with me and Gabe, we are on the Twitter.
Tweet at us. Tell me how our opinions are shit.
Yeah, especially if you're an angry Bring Me the Horizon fangirl who swears that they've been a Bring Me the Horizon fan their whole life, even though they can't.
Catch you in that Chelsea Grin Pit in March.
Yeah, right. Cool. Yeah.
I think that's it.
All right, man. That's it. So you can go ahead and I guess we could deuces on out of here, Gabe. Deuces.